Welcome back to URM Academy. If you are a rock or metal producer, this is your home on YouTube. In today's clip, this is from last month's Nail the Mix session where Fredrik Nordstrom mixed Chelsea's Smile by Bring Me the Horizon. And if you don't know Fredrik Nordstrom, well, you probably should. He's the guy that's mixed a ton of amazing bands like Soilwork, Dark Tranquility, In Flames, At the Gates, Architects, just Opeth, tons more amazing bands that probably fill up half your record collection. And in this clip, he is talking about how he mixed the kick drum for Chelsea's Smile by Bring Me the Horizon. What's interesting about this clip is he kind of talks about the process of using his own custom kick drum. It's actually not the same one that he used on the album. We had to kind of recreate a lot of the session. Some of it he was able to use because remember, this song's over a decade old, right? So some of the stuff he was able to use from the old sessions, some of the stuff he had to kind of recreate. And in this clip, he talks about the kick drum.
After that, I've been using this EQ like to cut out stuff that has been annoying. And I normally I can take that bass drum, play it, and show how I do it. Gain, like this, on a very tight cue. As tight as I can. This is wide, this is tight for me. Sweep like this. And that was the frequency I find annoying. Mm-hmm. So I just cut it out. And then I have something that is not from the original mix. And this is a new bass drum that sounds like this. So, this is actually a bass drum that I have created myself that is not released on Freeman Digital. Mm-hmm. And when I was sitting here trying to recreate the mix, this was the one I felt like was more close to the one.
Which one? What's it from? Do you remember?
This is a bass drum I did for a couple of years ago, but no, I don't remember where it was from. Because I've been sitting here and creating a lot of drum sounds that we haven't released yet, and this is one of them. So from time to time I use them in the mix. It's quite nice to have also for me personally have a bass drum that nobody else have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's mine bass drum.
Yeah, and since I noticed that there's no processing on it, is it just because it's already the way you like it?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good as it is. I'm actually planning to call this T-Rex, this drum kit, after my wife, because she has so short arm and she's so mean and she's so big. Don't tell her about it.
I won't.
So that's a complete drum kit. It's going to be with bass drum, snare drum, toms, and no cymbals, as always. The cymbals is something separate.
Got it.
Yeah.
So when you're blending those two samples together, with the natural kick drum, how do you go about finding the balance that you like?
I listen and use my ears. It's just like, yeah, I can play for you like the samples first, and then I can play the acoustic one, and then we can put them together.
Sure.
Samples. That's the acoustic ones. And together. You don't see my meters here, but the main signals I use is the SM91. Mm-hmm. And this sample here, the Tyrannus Rex, or whatever it's called, T-Rex, I'm going to call it.
Do you mind real quick to put it on the mixer view in Pro Tools so that they can see the balance between them?
Yep. Well, this is the US67, 91, this is the Tyrannus one, and this is the Far Beyond Ribbon bass drum, and this is the master for all the 4 tracks. Or
It looks like the Far Beyond Driven one is just for
just a little bit for the click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind playing that and then muting Far Beyond Driven and then adding so we can hear just how much click it adds?
Yes. Then also we have this one. There is a master bus EQ, and that EQ is adding a little bit treble, a little bit on the high mid, taking off a little bit around 400, and adding another on 60 hertz. So in and out with this one. There's a bit of compression on there also, I see that now.
It really brings it to life.
Yeah, but not too much, because there's a lot of processing, I think, in my eyes anyway before. But I always have some kind of, on the master for a bass drum, I always have it like, in this case, these Waves SSL.
It seems like you make a lot of little subtle moves. Like, for instance, you cut off some of the high end on the 91 that you found annoying, and then replaced it or supplemented it with the Pantera high end.
Yeah.
So seems like you're making little moves, but the right moves,
Maybe.
opposed to a bunch of crazy moves.
Yeah, but also in the same time, as I use this D-command unit, it's also like sometimes when I mix stuff, I don't look at the plugin. I have the plugin here. It's on my hands, so I just I'm tweaking. Oh, this sounds best. And then when you see the graph on the plugin, it sounds totally crazy. But that's the good thing with this unit. You don't look at the plugin. You use your ears. It's a very helpful tool actually to have EQ, especially EQ and compression, on hand. Because you don't sit there with your mouse up and down, and because then you see, oh, it's too much. Is it too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not too much. But your eye's telling you it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're actually mixing and not playing a video game.
Yes.
And I mean, since you come from the world of having a board, it seems like it makes perfect sense to have a controller that controls all the plugins. But did you ever EQ with your eyes? Like, did you try it?
You do it as soon as you take up an EQ and you have it on the screen. You're sitting and watching it and see what you're doing instead of. It's kind of. It can actually fool you a little bit, I think. In my case, I know a lot of people that only using the mouse and work really fast with that. But I think that's. For me, as I'm coming from a console area, when I had hands on everything, and sometimes when I get the flow up with this unit here, I'm mixing. I'm just standing here and just do everything on the control surface, and you don't even look at the screen, and just listening and do the stuff on here because it suits me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to snare. Unless there's anything else you want to say about kick.
I never talked so much about the kick like I've done now.
That's what I'm here for, to talk about kick.
All right, that was Fredrik Nordstrom tackling the kick drum from Chelsea Smile by Bring Me the Horizon. If you want to get your hands on the rest of this video and the multi-track session for the song. You can just hit the link in the description below. You'll get instant access to both of those things, as well as a bunch of other cool stuff that you'll probably love, that I hope you love. All right, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.